This is judicial. When the Supreme Court says form a special investigation team, bring back the black money, take steps. The Supreme Court, if the Supreme Court had not been monitoring the 2G investigation, I don't think so many people would have gone to jail.
Absolutely.
Now,
Absolutely,
the Supreme Court is the last. I have not finished my question. I have not finished my question.
Okay.
The government has told the Supreme Court it's a case of judicial overreach, and it goes against the doctrine of separation of powers. But when someone is going to, sit peacefully in a protest, go on a fast, why is the government pressing the panic button and overreacting?
Yeah.
It
took 20 minutes for them
now,
to
do you want me to answer?
Yes, I want you to answer.
The first question is, I think I salute the Supreme Court, and I think it is doing good things to society. However, please give, but for Sonia Gandhi's pressure, the Right to Information Act would not have come, which would not have exposed all this corruption. Please understand that. Give the credit where it is due. You can laugh at it.
Unwittingly.
Sridhar, I thought you were a neutral person. You look into my eyes and tell me, did RTI make a difference because in the corruption fight against corruption?
RTI or no RTI?
No, my question
is sensitive departments like vigilance.
Did RTI make a decision?
It's so much of corruption.
Ma'am, please, let me ask that question.
Right to ask
I'm
about
asking him
what is the credit you want? What is the credit you want?
Did it make a difference for corruption against in this country?
RTI or no RTI, the scams are so monumental that they had to come out.
Okay, I want to ask another question. Narayanan, another question. RTI keeps out of its ambit sensitive departments like vigilance and anti-corruption. So what are we talking about RTI as a tool to fight corruption? To a large extent, yes, RTI is a path-breaking legislation. Grant you that. There's no doubt about that. RTI activists are doing a splendid job.
But I can understand BJP saying that. Sridhar is not giving due credit. He's probably as biased as anybody else.
I'll tell you why. Let me answer this. I'll tell you.
No, why don't you introduce it as a private bill now? Anna Hazare bill, if you support it. Why don't BJP?
Let me answer this.
Okay, you answer that. Yeah.
I would not have been like this, but for the fact that when somebody is talking about corruption, it seems to prick only the Congress guys for some reason. Why? So let me ask you, now Anna Hazare, when he started this fasting, let me complete this. Anna Hazare started this fasting. And, finally it all ended when the government made an offer saying that let's discuss. And when the discussions were proceeding, everybody could see that the government was stopping halfway and saying that this is not covered, this is not covered, this is not. So Anna made his point very clear. This way is not going to be working. So I'm going to go for a fast. Now, when finally he says that I'm going to go for a peaceful satyagraha, I mean, he is a Gandhian. He has been given a Padma Bhushan and he has done a lot of things before. I mean, he's not a nobody. Okay. Now, when he is doing a satyagraha, political parties can conduct rallies, but not a person like Anna Hazare. Why? What? Okay. So now,
can I answer that?
No, let me complete this. Now, what did they do? They conducted a slander campaign. I'll tell you what changed my mind. The last 4-5 days, when I keep seeing this Congress spokespersons coming and, attacking on a personal basis somebody like Anna Hazare, the accusations didn't stick. On the contrary, it came and slapped the Congress back in the face. You can do a poll among the normal people of India. Everybody felt bad that they went on a slander campaign.
Mr. Narayanan, answer that. Okay.
First question.
That's what turned me against Congress.
Okay.
I'm glad you brought that up. I think you have a right point. It is not the Congress which said that. I think it's Judge Savan who has convicted, because I was not going to bring today. Please, when you talk, I did not interrupt.
Go ahead.
A civil society person should let the other person talk.
Please.
Good. Now, when we did not say that, it's Judge Savan who said Anna Hazare has taken close to 2 lakhs of public money to spend on his birthday. He called it quote unquote corrupt. So, I was not going to bring it, but you brought it, so I have to clarify that. Congress did not say that. They just brought in something what an independent Judge Swan said about that. Okay? So let's leave that.
That's not true. The Congress spokesperson.
You go and fight it out with Judge Swan. Don't say Congress. Who said that? Congress or Judge Swan?
Well, ma'am, let me also ask you.
I hope you answer the question.
We are all talking about Gandhian ideals and Gandhian philosophy and Gandhian modes of protest. When Mahatma Gandhi suffered from malaria, and the doctor advised him to use a mosquito net, he refused to use a mosquito net. In fact, rubbed a few drops of kerosene oil in his face and went to bed, saying that when there are thousands and millions of my brethren in the country who cannot afford a mosquito net, I will not use it. Now look at the people who have been jumping onto the anti-corruption brigade, as it were, the bandwagon. Baba Ramdev. From where did the helicopter come? You have high-flying swamis who come there and then talk about black money.
You cannot say a rich person cannot talk about a poor person.
No,
but an uncorrupt person should talk about.
What about the trust?
We don't know enough about Swami Ramdev to even make a comment.
Intention. Now his house has been searched. So many corrupt ministers are there. They are freely walking in India. His house has been searched. Income tax raid has been done. What is this? Because they are targeting the people who are fighting for corruption, anti-corruption. So they think if they are talking about corruption, they are talking about Congress. So they are intolerant to that.
Madam,
Okay,
first thing is I wrote an open letter to Anna Hazare saying that I support
You
it.
think
So
BJP
wait a minute.
They targeted
No.
who were fighting against corruption.
I don't
who
know
are
why she
fighting
was not
against
listening.
Okay, fine.
intolerant.
You answer. Oh, yeah, answer.
First thing is, I wrote an open letter, and not this time, even the first time when he said, my heart also went for Anna Hazare. I am against corruption. To answer your question, I have refused to also pay bribes several times where I am forced to. In addition, I can look into your eyes and look into the camera and say, I have never taken bribe in my life, never will. I promise you that.
Then you should not
As
be
a
the
congressman.
The same here.
Okay, good.
But you have not been holding public office.
I don't know enough.
not been
I
holding
am in
public
public
office,
life.
But you have not been holding public office.
I am in public life.
truth
I
test is
have
when you
never
hold public
paid.
office.
No, I am saying I
No,
have
the
never
truth test is
paid.
when you hold public office, Ms. Narayanan.
So far, I have never paid even bribes.
Okay.
I appreciate that. That's nice. All I'm saying is that the way this
There
whole
are,
thing.
there are politicians who are also honest. Don't paint everybody with the
Fair
same.
enough, Ms. Narayanan. Do you believe?
And as a matter of fact, I welcome this because people like me in politics and a lot of congressmen, including people in power, want this thing because this kind of pressure groups.
Sir, tell me why you didn't
help us.
Tell me why you didn't get a
do the
ticket.
right thing.
Why you
You
didn't get a
need to
ticket to
change your
contest
thinking,
elections? Why you didn't get a ticket to contest elections?
Well, that's a different
Because
thing.
you couldn't rustle up 3 crore rupees.
There are various different things that goes in ticket.
All right.
Let's not talk about
All right.
All
right.
You need to do something about your think tank, the core group which is
There is something job.
No. Do you believe? What's your stand now? Do you believe the move to arrest Anna Hazare was right or wrong?
Absolutely right. Because I'll answer that. Because item 1. There are rules and regulations the way you should show your protest. You have a right to protest.
Which politicians follow all the time.
No, we don't. Honestly, we don't.
So with what faith?
We think you are better than us.
but the law
You
will-
want to be like us? Then why do you come
Oh,
here?
okay.
Please don't come.
All right. Admission of guilt. Admission of guilt. Finally.
I'm amazed by
I
that
always
statement.
call
Every
this
conditions
black
there
at
for
the
each
back
and
and
every
get it as
protest.
black. I don't know. Please don't talk at the same time.
Okay.
This is not.
All right. Why don't you have a glass of water here? Yeah.
Mr. Narayanan,
Yeah.
only one thing.
One sip of water, yeah.
You made, your observation about not taking bribes or paying bribes is very laudable. I appreciate that. On the same token, it is amazing that you are saying this because today I happened to hear a cross section not only among common people but experts coming on, on air and saying that the arrest of Anna Hazare was actually constitutionally invalid.
So is there a disconnect between
Yeah.
your party and the
There is-
public sentiment?
Well, there's a perception people are trying to create that there's a disconnect between our party and the public sentiments. But even the last poll said if there is an election today, Congress
Which
will
poll?
have a better. If we will not get majority,
No,
we'll have better thing.
The
I
poll
think
said
No.
these
I
are all.
have that-
in Tamil
I have
Nadu,
that
DMK is
magazine.
going to win.